So in Luke chapter 19, the disciples come up to Jesus and they're asking when Jesus is going to bring his big military reign to come and rescue Israel from the oppressive rulers' dominion of Rome. And they're expecting that Jesus, the promised Savior, is going to come in with this sudden military move from heaven to remove Israel out of the enemy's oppression. And they're asking Jesus, when are you going to do this? And when I read that, I'm picturing, big artillery or a big natural wonder that catches everyone's attention and obedience, something dramatic. And they're asking, when are you going to do this, Jesus? And Jesus responds with a parable. And they're talking about military intervention, and Jesus' parable talks about money. Jesus gives them a parable about money, and this parable is about how to take care of the things we have been entrusted with. And he uses money as an example. So that parable is in both Luke chapter 19 and in Matthew 25, 14 to 30. We'll read it together shortly. So in this parable, the master gave 3 servants money to take care of while he was away. And when God entrusts us to manage something, to care for something, his expectation is that we will manage it with care, wisdom, generosity, and that we will grow it. And he asks us to take care of something. He's the God of multiplication. He's always talking about fruit and multiplication. So when he entrusts something to our care, he expects us to grow it. And so the master, in this parable, who represents God, gave them the money. One of them buried it so it would be safe. And he kept it close to himself, didn't he, when he buried it? Like, I know where it is. I'm keeping this to myself. And he's just going to get on with his life while he waits for the master to return. But the other 2 grew the money while the master was away. Let's put it this way. A guy used $1,000. He invested his master's money and he made $10,000 profit. The master shows up and made him a governor of 10 cities. So it started with money, but now he's been given people. They made profit, and the master showed up and turned over cities to their care. The disciples were looking for earthly dominion of God over cities, physical rule over these cities. And what did Jesus do? He took them to a parable where the dominion was given to them through the process of godly stewardship. In other words, they responsibly cared for and grew the money that was entrusted to them in their pocket, which gave them an audience to influence the heart and mindset of an entire city. God gives us things in seed form. He didn't give them the cities to have dominion over. The disciples said, Jesus, when are you going to take dominion over the city? And Jesus responds by saying, I'm not giving you cities. I'm giving you money or seed to be entrusted with. And if you are trustworthy with that, then I will give you over influence over people. And not the way that earthly people think either, but in a way that's for the kingdom. Because God entrusts us with seeds. So many times we end a miracle too soon because we wanted to get the tree. God, give me a tree to work with. I mean, this ministry that I'm serving in, it looks like a crummy seed. No one can even see the seeds I'm sowing, the roots that are going down deep when I'm faithful. No one can see that. God, give me a tall tree. They'll see that. God, I'm just sowing these seeds because you just give me seeds to work with and it doesn't look like anything is being accomplished with them. Give me a tree, for crying out loud, because I am tired of just seeds. No one recognizes seeds. I don't see the fruit sometimes from the seeds because I'm only looking for a big tree. I asked you, God, for $500. That's what I needed, but you entrusted something else to me with instead. But what he gave me with was a seed, and within it were the trees yet to come. So when God gives us little, it's not little really. It's little to us. It's not little to him. He entrusted them something as small as money. I know money doesn't seem small, but in comparison to what he gave them when they were trustworthy with the money, money is nothing. Because he entrusted cities over to them, people, the greatest treasure, when they were faithful with what was in their hand to be entrusted with. What seeds have God given you that you want to give up on? But the miracle hasn't yet come. Don't give up too soon. Don't give up too soon. Be okay with the seeds, because actually the goal was not the tree. The goal was the sowing. The goal was the faithfulness. The goal was that I'm going to sow even when no one sees what's happening beneath the ground. That's the goal.